Hey everybody, this is Tamika Moses, your 2025 Miami Commercial Board President, and I'm here with
Alfredo, your 2026 chairman elect, or 2025 chairman elect, and 2026 chairman.
All right. So, Alfredo, this is your first time here at MIPIM, correct?
Yep, and I feel like it's my first interview on anything too. But yes, my first time here in MIPIM, and I'm super excited to hang out with you and a bunch of the commercial professionals.
Awesome. So what have you seen so far at MIPIM that you like? What have you seen so far?
You get to see the world. You get to see what the world is building, what they're doing. So usually we look at it from a residential side, but this is the commercial scale. So we talk to people in commercial financing. I've met developers, architects. So it's really the scope. When you look at globally, something like Miami, it's really big.
Awesome. So you all know this is the world's largest commercial conference in the world. So, Alfredo, while you're here for the next few days, what do you hope to get out of MIPIM?
I think it's these relationships, learning from people like yourself, and then learning from the different people that we've met from across different countries.
Yes.
And it's just hearing Miami. And people are here in Miami and the global scale. It's really exciting to see. As a native, as two born and raised in Miami,
I know.
It's cool to see.
I know, because it's hard to find two natives actually that are born and raised in Miami.
Yep.
So yes. So you all got it from us. We got this little short interview talking about MIPIM. Over the next couple of days, we're going to be going across the stages, going across the showrooms, going outside, showing you what the world has to offer and how the world is coming to Miami. So,
thank you.
Awesome.
All right, everyone, it's Alfredo again, your chairman for 2026, and I'm here with the awesome
Hi, this is Tamika Moses, 2025 Miami Commercial Board President.
All right, so we're here in MIPIM, and we made our way to the Berlin booth, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Berlin and what Berlin has happening in real estate and commercial real estate. So, can you introduce yourself, sir?
Good morning, and a very warm welcome to the Berlin booth, a very warm welcome to the city of Berlin. We are Germany's largest city, and we are the capital of the reunified Germany. We are a city of 3.5 million inhabitants, and we are expected to grow up to 4 million in the next 10 years or so.
Wow, so tell me, Christian, what do you think about MIPIM and the conference, and why do you all come down here? What do you like about it?
Well, I represent the public side, the public sector in Berlin, but of course we are looking for partners in the private sector. We need private investment in many segments of the real estate industry. We have a shortage of housing, so we are looking for investment in housing. We have two former airfields which are being redeveloped. One is Tegel, which you can see here on one of our panels, which we are developing into a tech republic, as we call it, for the sciences, for labs, for commercial users. And we have the former Tempelhof Airport, which was the site famous for the Americans supporting us during the time when the Soviets surrounded Berlin. So Americans dropped food for the Berliners to survive. And we are developing that into cultural uses, and we are also interested.
Wow, so a lot of great things happening in Berlin.
Yes.
You have a lot of great things that are happening in Berlin. We have over 60,000 Miami Association Realtor members. Why Berlin? What's ahead of you guys? What's ahead for you guys in the next 10 years or so?
So Berlin is a young and creative city. We have big interest and influx of young and educated people. We have very high number of universities, so we have a highly educated workforce. So Berlin is the place to be for startups, for tech companies, within Germany. And yeah, we have been the city with the fourth highest number of transaction in real estate in 2024 after London, Madrid and Paris, and I think is the city in Europe which has the highest potential to grow in terms of population and economically.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Christian, for taking the time to
meet with us. Thank you so much again, Christian.
Thank you.
All right, Eddie Blanco, Chairman of Miami Association of Realtors. I'm here with Mr. David Hansen, and we're here at the MIPIM in France, in Cannes. So David, tell us a little bit about what brought you here to MIPIM.
Well, every year I'm coming to MIPIM, and because I'm concerned by real estate development, and something very special about me is that I developed a concept of sustainable housing about 15 years ago when energy was cheap, and now it's all actuality because the price of energy is rising all over the world, and sustainable housing, if you can bring it, on the market at regular price, standard price of local real estate, then it's a big plus. And there is and we tested in the European market due to political reasons. It takes over 2 years to get a planning permission, at least for a residential project. And in North America, in places where they have lots of climate conditions, more than just sustainability, that you have then the constraint of cyclones and earthquakes, and we can build with ICF, insulated concrete form, building that can stand winds of up to 200 miles per hour.
That's fantastic.
And windows, triple glazing windows, which is the third layer that can be protected, protective glass, so the wind can really resist, all kinds of hurricanes.
So a three-pane glass system.
Three-pane glasses.
So you have the heat, the cold, and you can also do storm protection with
exactly. You can only do it with triple glazing windows, which we do as a standard. We can do it at a very standard price, and we are so accomplished in the terms of sustainable housing development that we do it as a standard. In a big market like Florida, we'll be able to become a 100% local company. I'm not going to come over there with some engineers from Europe and we'll tell you this is the best way to do it. We will work, with local companies, create maybe then our own company and become Florida house builders, 100%.
Got it. So David, who is your ideal connection? Who you're looking to connect here at MIPIM? Who would be your top connection that you'd like to make here when you're here?
For real estate development, you need these three things. You need first have access to development land.
Land is important, that's for sure.
Yeah. Then number two, city councils who give the planning permissions. You have to fit in then an urban planning project.
You have to fit.
Florida have them. And number three, investors, because when you change from when you change from one country to another, one continent to the other, then you lose all your contact.
Yes.
Like American investors would hardly invest in a project in Europe, and vice versa. European banks, to whom I'm very well connected, will hardly invest in a project in North America. And why Florida? Because Florida has it all. It's maybe the second or third largest state in the United States. It has a booming market. Every year, I don't know how many people are coming every year to Florida. Can you tell me, Eddie?
We have a net gain of about 700 people per day coming into Florida. Per day, it's coming into Florida.
It's the largest migration in the world, I would say.
It's pretty impressive, yeah.
It is impressive. Yeah. Impressive, really.
Well, it's great hearing it from you, because we're always talking about how great Florida is, but to hear it from you, it's nice to hear. And
I've been visiting Florida, and then 2 years ago I went to the National House Builders show in Orlando, and I met with some of the realtors, and then Florida is a place, if you want to get there, to get started there, you have to work with the local people.
Yes.
Not that you need their help, but they are very business minded, and they can make it happen more than in other states. And I'd be glad to talk with you, Eddie, about some urban project with some development land available, and then hedge funds being able to buy the end product. And most important, we trust so much, the Florida market, that there are not many states where I would do, build-to-let project. In a place like Orlando, Miami, Tampa, and whatsoever, you can really have project for the next 20 years.
Yep.
Build to let project, and you know that it's going to be there. That the political stability is there. And you can be sure if you get a loan over 15 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you know that the profit will be there all the time.
Well,
I wouldn't do that in other states.
I know that you want this. Florida has that stability that people wants to keep people coming back, and we also have, like you said, the need for housing structure that's sustainable, but also can withstand hurricanes and the challenges that we have from a natural disaster standpoint. So it's good to hear. Any closing thoughts? Any last things you'd like to say?
Well, I'm about, to leave beautiful Europe because of taxes. In the end, paying over 70% tax is a killing. It's killing me, and then they're going to add more taxes, 10, 13%. So in the end, then I'm just working for nothing.
Right.
And I just want to bring my family over to Florida because that's the place where I can live. My wife would enjoy Florida. My son, who just graduated, from a commercial college here, and was trained for 1 year at BNP Paribas, the largest European bank, in the real estate department. He did all his training in English, and then we are all willing to move over there. And the place where the advantage in a place like Florida, we have it all there. I can get the local engineer. I can have the local university to develop some project like I've developed my own heat pump. But we'll go even further than that to work with some development program for a heat pump that's adapted to the Floridian climate. And we have it all there. We have a lot of manpower. People can be trained, very easily. And I've been dealing, with the local, building association. They say whatever need you have, we train the people for you.
That's great.
And that's what we need, That's what we need. I don't have to bring, 200 engineers from Europe, to get started over there. I can start with just 2-3 engineers, for 1 year to over there just to make the technology transfer, even though we should never use technology transfer with this word with America, but I will be really glad to get to be part of the picture in sustainable housing development in Florida, and I can believe me that if you give.
All right, so we are here with Haitham. I hope I said the name correctly, yes, and we're here at Egypt with Tamika, our commercial president. So, hi. Tamika, I know you have a question for Haitham. Then we're going to ask him a little bit more about MIPIM, I think.
So what brings you to MIPIM?
Yes, MIPIM, this is our pleasure as the ACOD, Administrative Capital for Urban Development, to participate for the third time here in this one of the top-notch real estate conferences and events that happen all over the world. And as the ACOD, we find this a great platform to meet with different stakeholders of the real estate industry, construction, commercial, retails, and so that help us to promote our city and the coming and future plans.
Awesome.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the project and what you're building in Egypt?
Yes. Our city is the fourth generation city in Egypt, and this is we started the developments in 2016 or 2017. The city is located around 45 kilometers from our old Cairo, the heritage capital of Egypt, and we consider this is the new administrative capital that hosts the governmental district, the offices, the retails. The area of the city is around 230 fadans, and we developing on phases. Phase 1, it's around 40,000 fadans, and we finished already around 60 to 70% of the construction and development. Now, as you know, that the city hosted now the government, the cabinet. Already they moved to the city since 2 years ago, and they are operating business all the day to day from the city. It's our city main features are sustainable, green, and economic, or fostering the economic growth of our country. It's this is our main target in the new administrative capital, to provide high quality living standards to our people.
Wow, so I'm reading there, it says you're connecting heritage places with modern
Sure.
communities. Very cool.
Yes, awesome. So in U.S. dollars, how much is your price point in your property started? Because we have a lot of we have over 60,000 realtors, and a lot of them do international sales.
Yes, our investment now for phase one, it's more than 300 million US dollar. This is in the infrastructure and the buildings, and also we have to focus that our company depending on the revenue of selling the land. We are 100% a company, a corporate. We didn't take any subsidy from the government, and this is a unique model that developed in Egypt. That you have the city, you create value for the land, and you sell the land, so you have the revenue coming from the people, from the developers. As we have also a diplomatic district in our city, and the land are sold in US dollar. So this helps us a lot for the company to continue our investment, and also of course coming back to the country at the end.
So what's one thing that you love, right, with global, and Miami is very global, what's one thing that you love about Egypt that if somebody's watching it, they can say, man, I want to go see, I like the pyramids, everything there in Egypt, but
Yes.
What's one thing that you could say, this is what we love about our culture, about Egypt, that someone should go invest?
Of course, Egypt is an old country. Egypt coming, as we called before, history, and we continue the civilization efforts. We're still contributing to civilization. We didn't stop at the phase of the pyramids and our heritage. We create different values, different icons for our country. We have in our city a great area, city of arts and culture, on over more than 120 fadans. This is including museum for all capitals of Egypt since our ancient Egyptians up to now. So Egypt is a developing country, is working hard to still contribute to the world civilization.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so
you.
much. I think there are some great reasons why you should look at Egypt as a place to invest.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.